him. But it is our pleasure at the School of Law, Bennett University, to invite him for a lecture on this very important series. This topic about big data and artificial intelligence today is immensely important. Right. So let me first begin by introducing, the concept of post-truth itself, because a lot of times friends, colleagues, as well as students ask me, why is this seminar series called the post-truth? The post-truth basically refers to a situation where you're looking at something that is beyond plausible or relevant or even real. So it kind of pushes the frontiers of frontier areas of knowledge that you are trying to understand and assess. And therefore, we thought that for a faculty seminar series, this is an apt topic, because we could then look at areas which are upcoming, areas which are important for us, right? So we have been holding post-truth seminar series for the last 1.5 years now. This is our 14th post-truth seminar series. We've had some very luminous and luminary people giving seminars, including faculty from Cornell University, like Professor Beth Leon, who was there recently with us, Mr. Manas Chaudhary, who was from a law firm and gave us a very good lecture on competition law. And today we have with us Professor Tabrez, who will be talking about the regulatory challenges of big data and artificial intelligence. With these few words, may I request our Dean, Professor Sridhar, to give the opening remarks before we can invite Professor Tabrez for the lecture.
Thank you, Ashita. It's a great pleasure for me to invite Professor Tabrez Ahmed, who is a Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean School of Law at G.D. Goenka University. He has a wonderful author, wrote very books which have very good relevance, significance, and of course following also. And he deals with very, very important topics of today's relevance. And recently, I just raise one point and then I'll leave it to Dr. Tabrez Ahmed. Recently, I was advising the Telangana government on drafting a land rights legislation. There, the trouble that they are facing is the law records, the land records are totally, not in a perfect manner. They are supposed to be digitized and kept. And one thing we have discovered is unless we make law records, land records totally open, it is difficult to contain the corruption in the revenue department. So first we have decided that there shall be a web portal for land rights, and then remove the discretionary powers of the registration officers and tahsildars and revenue officers. But for that, they have to deal with big data, very huge data of land records of 4 crores of people of Telangana. So I think unless we introduce such a mechanical artificial intelligence, we can't protect honesty in the administration. So it is related to good governance and administration also.
Yeah.
So I just, with these remarks, I request Dr. Tabrez deliver his lecture, and I request all my students and colleagues to take benefit of the same. Thank you, sir. We are pleased to invite you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Sridhar Sariolu, for inviting me and also giving opening remarks. It's a matter of great honor and prestige to deliver the lecture in the university. I also thank Ashita Allam Raju for coordinating me from the very beginning and also arranging the links and all these things. And thank all the faculty and participants in the very important webinar today. So very rightly mentioned by Dr. Sridhar that it's a very important area, big data, because now it is said that data is new oil and refined data is refined oil. Because now everything is transforming from the data, and everybody is behind the data, collection of data, data analytics, and also using the data. Everybody is behind data, because everybody knows that data will be deciding factor for any company or any country's dominance and also market leadership. So how to collect more and more data, how to collect data, and how to utilize data, that is the call of the hour for everybody in the world. And accordingly, after the 15th June debacle on the India-China border, India government has taken very proactive step, and the blocked these 59 Chinese applications, and also later on last month 1048 application also kind of the blocked by the government of India. So government has blocked more than 200 Chinese applications for the because these applications were just trying to collect the data of the Indian citizens, and they're also passing the information to the Chinese government. It was a big issue for Indian people's privacy rights, as well as also the right to cyber security, also the risk for the national interest. In fact, if you see the development of the internet, it started in the 1968 with the ARPANET in the American military. They were trying to use some technology for fast communication among the military officers. And then they have seen the lot of benefits. It was very fast, quick, and also very easy to communicate. And then they were searching that can we use for the research or not. And in 1980s, we have seen the commercial development of the internet in 1983, that is protocol. And then the debate started, can we also use for the commercial purposes? Then we have seen that uncertain model law came into force in 1996, and India being the signatory of this model law in the at international level. Then India government was trying to have the law for the country, and then in 2000, on 17 June 2000, the Parliament has passed the IT Act 2000, and it was in force on 17 October 2000. So in fact, the birth of the cyber law in India has taken place on 17 October 2000. But if you see the development of the mobile technology, it started the 1980s. We have seen first G phone. That was only you can call somebody in 1980s. Then we have seen in 1990 the 2G technology, where you can call somebody and also you can have the SMS. And then in 2000 we have seen that 3G technology, that you can send SMS, you can call somebody, and also you can have video streaming. So it was very slow that you have to stream the video and then you can see the video. But real benefit started once we have seen the 4G technology in 2010, where you can download the 1 hour video in 5 minutes, and then video was just like a real time. So we are able to see the cricket matches, we are able to see the live telecast also on the YouTube channel. So this was the great changing time, and then the biggest challenge is taking place right now because of the development of the 5G technology. So in fact, in 2020, we have seen the 5G technology. This technology is very, very fast, because in 5G medium, you are able to download the 1 hour video just in 1.5 seconds. And this technology is going to be the big game changer in the world, because of this technology, we are able to have the kind of the autonomous vehicles. We are able to have the two-way traffic, and will be big data flow. So real data now is starting by the 5G technology, and now the China is going to be the market leader, because Huawei